Hello, dear listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Madiba. It's your old friend Nelson Mandela, speaking to you as if we're sitting together under the vast African sky, the stars twinkling like the hopes of a nation. Today, I want to share a story that's not just about my life, but about a moment that captured the heart of South Africa and the world, a moment of unity, defiance, and joy. I'm calling this tale The Dance of Freedom, how a song became our anthem. It's the story of how Nkosi Sikelel iAfrika, our beloved anthem, wove itself into our struggle against apartheid and became a beacon of hope. So settle in as I take you back through the years, speaking as if we're in a cozy podcast studio, with a warm, reflective tone to make this journey vivid and relatable. Even if you're new to South Africa's history, let me set the scene for you. I was born in 1918 in Mvizo, a small village in the Eastern Cape, into a world where black South Africans were denied dignity by colonial and later apartheid laws. Apartheid, enforced from 1948 by the white minority government, was a system that segregated us by race: black, white, colored, Indian, stripping us of rights to vote, own land, or even move freely. I joined the African National Congress Inc. to fight this injustice, and by the 1960s, I was in prison, sentenced to life for sabotage after our peaceful protests were met with violence, like the 1960 Sharpeville massacre, where 69 unarmed people were killed. But today's story isn't about those dark days alone. It's about a song that lifted us, a melody that became our heartbeat. Picture the year 1925, long before I was locked away on Robben Island. A young teacher and composer named Enoch Sontonga, from my own Xhosa people, sat in a humble schoolroom in Johannesburg. Enoch was a man of faith, a choir leader, and he penned a hymn called Nkosi Sikelel iAfrika, God Bless Africa, in English. It was a prayer, simple yet profound, asking for divine protection and unity for our continent. Little did he know that his song, first sung in church halls, would become the anthem of a revolution. By the time I was a young lawyer in the 1940s, attending ANC meetings, that song was already our rallying cry. We'd sing it at gatherings, fists raised, voices blending Xhosa, Zulu, Sotho, all united in its verses. It wasn't just music, it was defiance, a declaration that we were human, that we belonged. Let me take you to a moment that still gives me goosebumps. It's 1952, and I'm in my 30s, helping lead the Defiance campaign, where we deliberately broke apartheid laws like entering whites, only areas, or burning our passbooks, those hated documents we were forced to carry. One evening, in a township hall packed with hundreds of us, police sirens wailed outside, ready to arrest us. But before they stormed in, someone started singing Nkosi Sikelel iAfrika. The room erupted, men, women, young, old, our voices rising like a tide. The police hesitated, struck by the power of that sound. It was as if the song built a shield around us, reminding us why we fought. Even as they dragged us away, we kept singing, and I saw tears in the eyes of a young boy watching, his fist clenched. That boy, I later learned, grew up to join the ANC Youth League. That's the power of a song. It plants seeds that grow into revolutions. Fast forward to Robben Island in the 1960s and 70s, where I spent 18 of my 27 years in prison. Life there was harsh, quarrying lime under a blazing sun, sleeping on thin mats in tiny cells, eating watery porridge. But Nkosi Sikelel iAfrika was our secret weapon. We'd hum it softly during work, passing messages of hope through its notes. The guards, mostly Afrikaners, would shout at us to stop, calling it subversive. Subversive, it was just a prayer for freedom. One night I remember my comrade Walter Sisulu, a dear friend, whispering the lyrics to a new prisoner who was losing hope. "Sing it in your heart," Walter said, "and you'll never feel alone." That song connected us to the struggle outside, where our people sang it at funerals, protests, even in exile. It was banned by the regime, but you can't ban a melody that lives in the soul. Now, let's leap to 1990, when I walked free after 27 years. The world was watching, and South Africa was on the brink of change as we negotiated the end of apartheid. Tough talks with President F.W. de Klerk through the Convention for a Democratic South Africa, Nkosi Sikelel iAfrika, was our backbone. In 1992, at a mass rally in Soweto, thousands gathered, black and white, to demand a new constitution. I stood on a stage, feeling the weight of history, and led the crowd in singing it. The sound was like thunder rolling across the township. Even some white South Africans, once skeptical, joined in, learning the words. It was a glimpse of the unity we craved. The climax came in 1994, when we held our first democratic election. I was 75, voting for the first time in my life, and the ANC won. As I prepared to become president, we faced a question: what should our new national anthem be? The old anthem, Die Stem, was tied to apartheid, loved by many whites but painful for us. Yet Nkosi Sikelel iAfrika was our song, sung across Africa in countries like Zimbabwe and Tanzania. Could it unite us all? After much debate, we did something bold. We combined them. The new anthem, adopted in 1997, starts with Nkosi Sikelel iAfrika, flows into a Xhosa and Sesotho verse, then blends into Die Stem in Afrikaans and English. It's a musical bridge, reflecting our dream of a rainbow nation. I'll never forget May 10, 1994, my inauguration as president. The crowd in Pretoria was a sea of face black, white, Indian colored. As the choir sang the new anthem, I saw tears, smiles, hands clasped across divides. I wore a suit, but my heart was dancing, just as it did when I was a young man at ANC rallies. That anthem wasn't just a song, it was our story, from Enoch Sontonga's humble hymn to a symbol of freedom. It reminded us that even in our darkest moments we could sing, and that song could carry us to a new dawn. My friends, this story of Nkosi Sikelel iAfrika is a reminder that the smallest acts teaches him, a whispered tune in a cell can spark change. In your own life, when you face injustice or despair, find your song, your voice, and let it rise. It might be a literal song, a poem, or simply standing up for what's right. As we say in Xhosa, Ubuntu, I am because we are. That anthem taught us we're stronger together.